Every October, the air turns colder, the nights grow longer, and something ancient stirs in the shadows. Halloween, a night of glowing pumpkins, strange costumes, and endless candy. But beneath the fun and fright lies a history more mysterious than you could ever imagine. From ancient Celtic rituals to candy wars, ghostly legends, and real world superstitions. Tonight, we're peeling back the mask to reveal 30 spine tingling Halloween facts you never knew. Welcome to the Mind Metrics. Grab your flashlight, lock the doors, and get ready to uncover the haunting truth behind your favorite spooky holiday. Fact 1. Halloween originated from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Over 2 millennia ago, the Celtic people of Ireland, Scotland, and northern France celebrated a festival called Samhain, pronounced Samhain. It marked the end of harvest season and the beginning of the long, dark winter, a time the Celts associated with death and the spirit world. They believed that, on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead dissolved, allowing ghosts to return to Earth. People lit huge bonfires to honor their deities and ward off malevolent spirits. They wore animal hides and masks to disguise themselves from wandering souls and sacrificed crops and livestock to please their gods. Samhain wasn't about evil. It was about survival, spirituality, and respecting the mysterious forces of nature. Fact 2. The word Halloween comes from All Hallows' Eve. By the 8th century, the Catholic Church established All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, on November 1st to honor saints and martyrs. The evening before became All Hallows' Eve, which eventually slurred into Halloween, and then simply Halloween. The Church's attempt to Christianize the pagan Samhain festival led to a fascinating fusion of beliefs. Pagan practices like bonfires and costumes persisted, but took on Christian symbolism. Over time, the night evolved from a solemn religious observance into a community-centered celebration that honored both the dead and the living. Fact 3. Jack-o'-lanterns were originally carved from turnips, not pumpkins. The tradition stems from an old Irish legend about Stingy Jack, a trickster who deceived the devil several times. When Jack died, heaven refused to take him, and the devil, still bitter, barred him from hell. Instead, the devil gave Jack a burning coal inside a carved-out turnip to light his endless wandering. The Irish began carving faces into turnips and placing candles inside to scare off Jack's ghost and other wandering spirits. When Irish immigrants arrived in America, they found that pumpkins, native to the New World, were softer, larger, and easier to carve. Thus, the jack-o'-lantern was reborn, becoming one of Halloween's most iconic symbols. Fact 4. Trick-or-treating has medieval roots in souling and guising. During the Middle Ages, poor families in England and Ireland would go door to door on All Souls' Day, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes. Children often dressed in costumes or masks, a practice called guising, to protect themselves from mischievous spirits or to impersonate them. When these traditions crossed the Atlantic with Irish and Scottish immigrants in the 19th century, they merged with local customs, eventually morphing into modern trick-or-treating. By the 1930s, candy companies began to capitalize on the custom, promoting it as a fun, family-friendly tradition rather than a religious ritual. Fact 5. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are America's favorite Halloween candy. Every Halloween season, surveys consistently place Reese's Peanut Butter Cups at the top of the list. Americans consume millions of them in October alone. The blend of sweet chocolate and salty peanut butter seems to strike the perfect balance for taste buds. But here's the kicker. Halloween candy sales generate over $3 billion annually, with the average U.S. household spending around $30 just on sweets. Other top contenders include Snickers, Kit Kats, and M&Ms. But Reese's continues to reign supreme. Fact 6. Halloween is the second most commercially successful holiday in the United States. Only Christmas surpasses it. Americans collectively spend an estimated $10 to $12 billion on costumes, decorations, candy, and events every year. Retailers often begin Halloween promotions as early as mid-August, reflecting how massive the market has become. Interestingly, adults now make up a significant portion of Halloween spenders. Parties, haunted houses, and elaborate costumes have made it just as popular among grown-ups as kids. Fact 7. The traditional Halloween colors, orange and black, have deep symbolic meanings. Orange represents warmth, fire, and harvest, a reminder of the changing leaves and the abundance of autumn. Black symbolizes darkness, death, and the unknown, the transition into winter and the spiritual realm. Together, these colors perfectly capture the balance between life and death, celebration and fear, that defines Halloween's ancient and modern character. Fact 8. Black cats became symbols of witchcraft during the Middle Ages. In medieval Europe, black cats were believed to be witches' familiars, supernatural companions that aided in spellcasting. Some even thought witches could transform into black cats to prowl unnoticed at night. During the witch trials of the 15th and 16th centuries, this superstition led to mass killings of cats. Ironically, that may have worsened outbreaks of the plague since fewer cats meant more rats. Today, black cats are seen as unlucky in some cultures, but in others, like Japan and the UK, they symbolize protection, good fortune, and prosperity. Fact 9. The first recorded American Halloween celebrations date back to the 1800s. European immigrants brought their harvest traditions to North America, where they combined with Native American autumn festivals. In colonial times, Halloween was more about storytelling, mischief, and community gatherings than candy or costumes. By the late 19th century, it evolved into a secular, family-friendly event, complete with parties, parades, and ghost stories, laying the foundation for the modern celebration. Fact 10. Pumpkins are technically fruits, not vegetables. Pumpkins grow from the flowering part of the plant and contain seeds, which classifies them botanically as fruits, specifically a type of berry called a pepo. They belong to the same family as cucumbers, melons, and squash. Interestingly, the oldest evidence of pumpkin use dates back more than 7,000 years to Mexico, where ancient peoples cultivated them for their seeds and edible flesh. Fact 11. The largest pumpkin ever grown weighed over 2,700 pounds. In 2023, a grower from Minnesota set the world record with a pumpkin weighing 2,749 pounds, heavier than a small car. These massive gourds are the result of decades of selective breeding and meticulous care, with growers using specialized fertilizers and shading techniques to prevent cracks. Competitive pumpkin growing is a serious sport, with prize money reaching tens of thousands of dollars for world record holders. Fact 12. Candy corn was originally called chicken feed. When invented in the 1880s by George Renninger of the Wunderle Candy Company, candy corn was designed to appeal to America's rural population. The tricolor design, yellow, orange, and white, resembled kernels of corn. At the time, corn was mainly used to feed livestock, hence the marketing slogan, "Something worth crowing for." Despite being one of the most polarizing Halloween candies today, Americans still consume over 35 million pounds of it annually. Fact 13. Bobbing for apples began as a matchmaking ritual. In Victorian England, apple bobbing wasn't just a party game. It was a form of love divination. Each apple was assigned to a specific suitor, and if a girl could catch his apple with her teeth, it meant they were destined to be together. The tradition had roots in Roman fertility festivals, particularly the worship of Pomona, the goddess of fruit and abundance, whose symbol was the apple. Fact 14. The fear of Halloween is called Samhainophobia. This phobia causes intense anxiety about Halloween imagery, costumes, or even the date itself. It can be triggered by traumatic memories, religious beliefs, or sensitivity to darkness and the supernatural. While rare, those who suffer from Samhainophobia often avoid public events or displays during October, underscoring how deeply the holiday's dark imagery can affect people psychologically. Fact 15. Haunted houses were created to prevent vandalism. During the Great Depression, Halloween pranks, like overturning cars or starting fires, became common. To divert restless youths from causing chaos, communities began organizing haunted houses, parades, and festivals. The first commercial haunted attraction, the Haunted Mansion, opened at Disneyland in 1969, and the industry has exploded ever since. Today, haunted attractions bring in over $300 million in revenue annually in the US alone. Fact 16. The classic sheet ghost costume comes from burial shrouds. Before modern coffins, the dead were often wrapped in plain white sheets before burial. As ghost folklore developed, artists depicted spirits wearing these same shrouds, which became the stereotypical image of a ghost. The simple white sheet costume became a Halloween staple because it was easy, cheap, and instantly recognizable. Fact 17. Owls were once thought to be witches in disguise. In European folklore, owls were nocturnal creatures of mystery. Their eerie screeches were believed to predict death or disaster. In ancient Rome, the hoot of an owl was said to foretell the death of emperors. This link between owls and death carried into medieval witchcraft fears, cementing their spooky reputation. Though in many indigenous and Eastern cultures, owls were considered wise protectors instead. Fact 18. The Monster Mash song was once banned for being too morbid. When Bobby Boris Pickett released Monster Mash in 1962, the BBC deemed it inappropriate for broadcast, claiming it was too grotesque. Despite the ban, the song soared to #1 on US charts and became a Halloween anthem. It's now a timeless party favorite, blending humor, horror, and nostalgia. Fact 19. Many cultures honor the dead with food during Halloween season. In Spain and Latin America, families bake pan de muerto, bread of the dead, and decorate graves with marigolds during Dia de los Muertos. In Eastern Europe, people set out food and drinks for visiting spirits, while in Italy, fave dei morti cookies are baked for departed loved ones. Halloween's global connections to ancestor veneration show its roots in humanity's shared respect for life, death, and memory. Fact 20. Michael Myers' mask in Halloween, 1978, was a repainted Captain Kirk mask. Due to the film's low budget, the production team bought a cheap William Shatner mask, painted it white, reshaped the eyes, and teased the hair, creating the now infamous blank-faced killer look. The result was so unsettling precisely because it was emotionless, transforming an ordinary prop into a symbol of cinematic terror. Fact 21. Pets, especially black cats, are at higher risk on Halloween. Animal shelters often suspend black cat adoptions in October to prevent abuse or pranks. Loud noises, flashing lights, and unfamiliar costumes can also stress pets, sometimes causing them to bolt or hide for days. Experts recommend keeping animals indoors during Halloween night and away from candy, especially chocolate, which can be toxic to them. Fact 22. A full moon on Halloween is extremely rare. While Halloween is symbolically tied to the moon, a full moon actually only falls on October 31st about once every 18 to 19 years. The last one was in 2020, and the next won't happen until 2039. Historically, a Halloween full moon was thought to amplify supernatural activity, making it a favorite backdrop for ghost stories and horror movies. Fact 23. Illinois grows more pumpkins than anywhere else in the U.S. The state produces over 500 million pounds of pumpkins annually, most grown in the small town of Morton, known as the pumpkin capital of the world. Morton is also home to Libby's, the company behind more than 80% of canned pumpkin products sold in America. Every October, the town hosts a massive pumpkin festival celebrating its agricultural heritage. Fact 24, Halloween used to be about romance and fortune telling. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Halloween was considered a night of divination, especially about love. Young women performed rituals to reveal their future husbands, like peeling an apple in one long strip and tossing it over their shoulder to form the first letter of a lover's name, or staring into a mirror by candlelight to glimpse their soulmate's reflection. These customs turned Halloween into a night of mystery, magic, and hope, not just horror. Fact 25. The word witch comes from the Old English wich, meaning wise woman. Long before witches were feared, they were respected healers, midwives, and herbalists. Wicca referred to people who practiced natural medicine and spiritual rituals connected to the earth. During the witch hunts of the 15th to 17th centuries, this image was twisted into one of evil, leading to the persecution of tens of thousands of women and men. Modern Wicca, a recognized religion, has reclaimed the original meaning of the word, celebrating harmony, wisdom, and nature. Fact 26. In Mexico, Halloween coincides with Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Though distinct holidays, both share an emphasis on remembering the dead. Dia de los Muertos, celebrated from October 31st to November 2nd, honors deceased loved ones through vibrant altars, ofrendas decorated with marigolds, candles, and sugar skulls. Families believe the spirits of the dead return to visit during this time, not to haunt, but to celebrate life and love. The colorful festival reflects a joyful, rather than fearful approach to death, contrasting Halloween's darker aesthetic. Fact 27. Candy wasn't part of Halloween until the mid-20th century. Before the 1940s, children were often given homemade treats like popcorn balls, nuts, fruit, or small toys. During World War II, sugar rationing temporarily halted the tradition. But after the war, candy companies aggressively marketed small, individually wrapped candies as the ideal Halloween giveaway. By the 1970s, concerns about safety and convenience made factory-sealed candy the universal standard. Today, Americans purchase over 600 million pounds of Halloween candy every year. Fact 28. Halloween was once banned by early American settlers. Puritans in colonial New England viewed Halloween as a pagan and superstitious festival, incompatible with their strict Christian beliefs. The holiday survived in small communities of Irish and Scottish immigrants, but didn't become mainstream in the US until the late 19th century. As America diversified culturally, Halloween evolved into a secular community celebration rather than a religious event, making it one of the most widely celebrated holidays today. Fact 29. The world record for fastest pumpkin carving is 16.47 seconds. Set in 2013 by master carver Stephen Clark, the record required the pumpkin to have eyes, a nose, and a mouth to qualify. Professional pumpkin carvers use specialized tools, much like sculptors, to achieve speed and precision. Clark's record showcases the artistry and competition that pumpkin carving has grown into, a creative craft now featured in televised contests and global festivals. Fact 30. Halloween has become a global cultural phenomenon. Though it began as an ancient Celtic ritual in Ireland, Halloween is now celebrated around the world. In Japan, massive street parades in Shibuya feature elaborate cosplay and glowing floats. In Canada, pumpkin festivals light up entire towns. In Mexico and Latin America, Dia de los Muertos merges seamlessly with Halloween's timing, while in the UK, ghost walks and fireworks honor its Celtic roots. Even countries like the Philippines and Australia have adopted Halloween parties and trick-or-treating. Its universal appeal lies in its themes: creativity, community, and the human fascination with life, death, and mystery. And there you have it, 30 mind-blowing facts about Halloween that prove it's more than just candy and costumes. From ancient Celtic fire festivals to billion-dollar candy empires, this single night connects our deepest fears, traditions, and the joy of being just a little bit scared. Because behind every jack-o'-lantern and ghost story lies centuries of history, mystery, and meaning, reminding us that Halloween isn't only about death and darkness, it's about the magic of transformation and imagination. If you loved exploring the eerie origins and hidden stories behind this haunting holiday, don't forget to subscribe to The Mind Metrics, where curiosity meets knowledge and every story reveals something extraordinary. And until next time, stay curious, stay clever, and have a hauntingly happy Halloween.